Desi Cerna, and this is a quick lesson on the song From the Beginning by Emerson, Lake and Palmer. I'm playing a line 6 Variax acoustic guitar here, standard tuning. And this song begins with part of an E minor chord. You play the 6th string open, and then you're going to play the harmonics at the 12th fret on strings 3, 2, and 1. So you do that just by barely touching the strings directly over the actual metal band that is the 12th. That's how you chime harmonics. A little bit of the E minor scale here along string 1, fret 10, 12, and 7. That's the 5th fret. 7th fret, hammer onto the 8th fret, pull back off. Whoops. And then the 1st string open. Some hammer-ons here, the open 1st string, and then 2nd fret, 3rd fret. After you hammer into the 3rd fret, you play the 5th string open, you play the 3rd fret again, and slide it to the 8th fret. A minor 9 chord. It's pretty unusual fingering. You play the 5th string A open, then you play the 10th fret of string 4, 12th fret string 3, 2nd and 1st strings are open. Here's your root A at fret 12. This is like an A, a minor 3rd, a dominant 7th, or a flat 7. Here's a 9. That's an A minor 9 chord. And so instead of holding down the 12th fret, you're putting the open A in there. Instead of holding down the 2nd string, you're putting the open one in there. That's where it comes from. And you have... This is based on a D chord. 10th fret, the common E4 bar chord. You're going to break it up and just play strings 2 and 3. Along with the open 4th string and the open 1st string. And this is done very quickly, so you got to push the pick through the strings. Then these two fingers will just swap strings. So now you're holding down the 10th fret of string 3 and the 11th fret of string 2. Not really sure what to call this. It could be part of like a G minor 7 chord. It could be part of a B flat chord. You got a D in the bass. I'm not sure it's really that important to name this chord. Now take this same shape and just slide it down so you're at frets 5 and 6. Same picking pattern. Then you have a riff that is repeated throughout the song. That's a G on the 6th string, 3rd fret, open D, back to the low G, open A. Then you're using the chords A minor 9. I already showed you this one before. And this next chord could be a couple of things. I think of it as a D, kind of an unusual shape. If you take a C chord, here's your root C, and slide this up, there's your root D. When you factor in the open strings, it makes a D suspended, or actually an add 4th, because you still have the 3rd in there. a second or a ninth in there. So you're basically using this shape, but without the root D, you play the open A. But I believe the bass player is playing a D when the bass comes in. And that rhythm, the accents, it's like 1. 1 is the open A string, 2, 3, and. So 1, 2, 3, and are the accents. And if you're doing this right, you'll just keep your right hand moving like this. It'll be down, down, up, down, down, up, down, down, up, down, down, up. And then you have this is part of a C chord here, where you arpeggiate just strings 5, 3, and 1. So since you're not using these two strings, you can take your fingers off. You don't really need them. I ended up just fretting the C like this. That string is 5, 3, 1, 5. Then you'll drop this note down a fret. This is part of a G chord where you hold the second string like this, but you don't need either of the E's, you just need this part of the chord. And you're picking strings 5, 3, 2, and 5. Then you go to an F, your pinky's going to grab a G on top, that makes an F add 9. You're going to arpeggiate it like this. So up the chord, back down, plus one more. Slide up 2 frets, take your pinky off and bar here. This is just a G. Same picking pattern. This is like a D shape, but you're going to slide it up so that you're at frets 5 and 6, so it actually makes an F, or this could actually, I think it sounds more like a D minor 7. Those notes are in a D minor 7, you use the open D. Same picking pattern, but this has a little bit more. You end it with, and that's the 4th string, the 3rd string, the 2nd string, and then the 2nd string again open. Actually, at this point in the song, the riff plays the 3rd string open. It still ends on A, but instead of the D, it's the G. Back to the chords. Or it just does it once or twice, and then you repeat everything again. That gets you through the first minute or two of the song.